Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Shefali with my viral wisdom, day 25. Day 25. I'm just going to put on my Instagram. Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is me coming to you with my day 25 of my viral wisdom course. So each day I try to come to you to just help you maneuver this reality we're in and try to relate it to our real life, our constant life, our regular life, and to show you how there are interconnections between what we're going through right now and what we have always gone through. So, hi, everyone, say hello, tell me where you're signing in from and how you're feeling. So, let's talk about some themes that are coming up in this moment of time. What is this virus teaching us? How can we capitalize on this present moment to see our patterns, to uncover our wounds, to heal who it is we are? So, yesterday I talked about how our own narcissism, how our own malignant desire to control is mirrored in the macro, in the culture of America for this moment in time, and how it's mirrored in our parenting with our children, and how we were raised with some degree of a malignant narcissism, how we were raised with a control, with a dogmatism, and how we can move away from these models towards other ways of living and being, and how this virus is teaching us how to connect and how to move away from ego and into the present moment, how to move away from lack into a more abundant way of living. So, the way that we can infuse spirituality into our lives on a day to day basis, the way that we can infuse the sacred into the ordinary on a day to day basis, is by taking the present moment and always turning it around, always taking what's happening to you in your life, with your children, with your passion, with your career, with any moment, and turn it around. So when you turn it around, what you're essentially doing is making it about you, not about you in a selfish way, but about you in a spiritual way, where you turn it around and you ask, how can I grow from this moment? What am I afraid of in this present moment? Am I operating out of scarcity or am I operating out of abundance? So most of us have this malignant narcissism in us. Okay, so not to take it in a pejorative way, just in an honest way. And it shows up in different twists and turns. So how does it show up? In many ways, it shows up from an entitlement. Many of us feel entitled. So this is true for all of us, and I'll show you how. And this is where we are all, in our own small or grand ways, malignantly narcissistic. And I'll show you. This is really hard to see in ourselves, but when you see it, you could let it go. So, how are we narcissistic? We have an entitlement. And this is what I'm seeing a lot right now in this pandemic, a, a sense of entitlement. So, what kind of entitlement? An entitlement that life should only give us happy feelings. We have somewhere an idea, an expectation that we are supposed to be only receiving happy things from life. It's an entitlement. We think life should tell us how it should turn out. So we have an entitlement of certainty. We have an entitlement of happiness. We have an entitlement of a pain-free existence and of kind of an easy life. So when life is not pain-free, when life is not giving us happiness, when life is not allowing us to rest in the illusion of certainty, we're kind of pissed off. We're not happy. We're upset, as if life owes us something. Well, we certainly feel people owe us things. We definitely feel our spouses owe us things. They owe us allegiance. They owe us loyalty. They owe us thinking we're amazing all the time. They owe us all sorts of fidelity. They owe us appreciation. They owe us gratitude. They owe us adoration. They owe us their love, right? We definitely feel this about our spouses. Otherwise, why would we be with them? We feel our children owe us things. We feel our children should owe us their fidelity, their obedience, their civility, their respect, right? We have an entitlement from everything we touch. Now you may say, no, you're not entitled. I beg to differ. I think I'm very entitled. And if I say it, maybe you'll own it, because there's no hesitation in me to own to my shadow. So if you don't want to own to your entitlement, is because you want to protect yourself. So when you are on a spiritual path, part of the spiritual path means to own your shadow and to own the parts of yourself that you don't like to see. And we don't want to see that we are entitled, because we all want to pretend like we are Mahatmas. Mahatma in India means the great ones. We all want to act like we're angels. We all want to act like, no, I'm amazing. I don't know about you. I'm not an entitled brat. But I'll tell you how I know that everyone is entitled, because when quote unquote negative things happen, we don't like it, right? If we weren't entitled, we would say, okay, I accept, I accept, I accept, I surrender. But the fact that we don't surrender and we resist and we get upset and we get anxious and then we get depressed is because we have an entitlement that life should not be this way. Why do we get angry with our children? Only because we feel entitled to expect something different. We feel that there should be another path. When we get the cancer diagnosis, we're traumatized. But we're not traumatized if we hear the cousin got it. We're upset, but we're not traumatized. We're traumatized when we get it. Why? Because somewhere subconsciously, we felt entitled to not get it. We thought maybe we should miss it. You see, we are extremely entitled. It's hidden. It's very, very subconscious. All of us have an entitlement. Now, the only way out of entitlement is to first own that we are entitled. To own your entitlement. The only way out of it is to own it. So the more you protect your ego to say, I'm not an entitled person, okay, you will never come out of it. And you will keep being disappointed in your life because you're entitled. And you'll wonder why you're disappointed all the time. But because you don't want to own your entitlement, you won't be stopping the disappointment. And then you'll go around in circles. So the first pathway out of our suffering is to own the shadow. And the shadow is not pretty. That's why it's in the shadow. Because we shove all our stuff that we don't want to show the world in the shadow. And you know what happens when you have stuff in the shadow? It sneaks out. And you know how it sneaks out? Through control, through projection. We pretend like the other one is entitled. And we blame and yell at the other one. And we point the finger at the other one. This is what couples do really well. Couples get A++ at pointing the finger at the other. So for example, the other day, a couple came to me and they told me about their last fight. So I asked them what their last fight is. And it's often like siblings fight. It's like that. Okay. It's that level of fighting. She said, he said, he was so mean to me. She was so mean to me. Just like 5-year-olds, two siblings fighting. Okay. So I'm listening. And the husband says, I called her because I wanted some information, some help about something. Right. So the wife said, okay. And I gave it to him. But apparently that help was not correct because the website wasn't working, the phone number wasn't working, the details weren't working. So the husband got upset with the wife. You don't want to help me. Her wife said, I did help you. I gave it to you, but I can't help you more than that. So he's getting upset with her because he's entitled to not just getting the help, but to it being fixed, to it being right, to it being perfect. So now they had a fight. Okay, I told you, it's like siblings fighting, right? Nothing big here. So I had to show the husband that he was entitled. She helped him, but he wanted it to be helped in his way, all the way to the end, to the finish line. So she helped him. It didn't work. She tried again. It didn't work, but it wasn't finished. So now the husband is upset. So the wife was blamed and they're having a massive fight. The husband refused to accept that he was entitled. He's like, no, I wasn't entitled. She should have helped me. Okay. So this is how it is. The minute we say the word should, we are entitled. So I'm going to ask you now, in this time of the virus, in this time of the pandemic, how many times a day do you say should, 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 should? I know, I'll tell you, I say it 50 times a day, right? The government should, the president should, they should, the governor of Georgia, should, right? Every time I find somebody not doing things according to my way, I go, they should, right? And it comes out so automatically, it's like water flowing down the river. And now I just know that every time use the word should, I'm in a trance. I've forgotten that, oh, people don't work for me. I forgot. My president doesn't work for me. No, nobody works for me. And nobody will work for me because the only person that works for me is myself. Oh, really? That's really disappointing. And wow, life doesn't work for me, right? It's not like I have a hotline to God. God, hey, don't give me the cancer diagnosis, huh? Which is what, in a way, prayer is. It's like a hotline. Like you think you have a hotline. No, you don't have a hotline. No one has a hotline, right? There is no hotline. So no one's listening really to you because you're not that special, right? And if there is such a God who would pick up the hotline, don't you think that God is busy? And the line should be busy. That God is very, very busy. So this comes from our entitlement, right? But I was such a nice person. All my life, I help people, and I'm such a good person, and I pray every day. So you're not entitled. You're not special. You are unique. You're definitely different, but you are not special, right? And I say this to parents too. Your kid is really, really unique, really, really, really unique, but not special, right? Nobody's special, right? You can be really unique, and in that you could be different. But at the end of the day, to the God above, to the universe, we all look kind of the same. If you zoom out really, wherever this God is supposed to be sitting from his vantage point, we all kind of look the same, as we should be to him. We should all be the same. So are we all the same or are we not? If we're the same, why are we more special? No hotline to give us special favors, right? So in your life, in your personal life, I want you to examine all the myriad of ways you think you are very special. Because sorry, you're not. You are unique. I'll give you that. You're really unique, but not better than anyone else, right? So you don't get favor. If cancer is going to knock, cancer is going to knock. If you have the ticket to go to tonight to leave your body, you're going to leave your body. It just is. It is what it is. It's a crapshoot. At the end of the day, life is a crapshoot, and it could go any wild way as it could. Our interaction with it is not a crapshoot. Our interaction with it is where we hold the power. The power is in how we interact with the crapshootness of life. But is life a crapshoot? 100%. Crapshoot as in, we have no idea. It could rain, it could snow, it could hail. We have no idea, right? And this virus has shown us, whoa, we could have never imagined this. You know, the other day I was playing a game with my friend that, well, since we could never predict the virus, what are other things that could happen in a few years that we could never predict? So I was like, I could probably be picking rice off a rice paddy field in Bhutan. And then my friend said, well, I could be opening a carpet store in Uzbekistan. And we just kept riffing off like this because really, who knows? Now this virus has shown us who knows. We're not even entitled to knowing what our future will be. But this is the nature of life. Life has always had an X factor. We just didn't want to marry it. We thought, no X. There's no X factor. But I tell everyone, all my clients who will listen to me, that you're always in bed, not with your partner. You're not in bed with anyone else except the X of life. And until you understand that it's you and the X factor of life, you will stop feeling entitled to anything ever again because you understand you are playing with X. You're in bed with X. You think you're marrying this person. No, you're marrying X. You think when you have a child, you're going to have a child. No, you're having an X. It's always X because the new moment is always unknown. So the new moment is always an X. You think when you get up, your husband will be cleaning the dishes. Oh, that was your entitlement. That was your movie. No, it's always an X. And when he does, wow, but it's still an X. And when he doesn't, of course, because it was an X. So either way, you begin winning at life when you have the right attitude. And part of that is killing your entitlement to know, your entitlement to be right, your entitlement to have things your way. your entitlement to be happy, your entitlement for life to work out your way. It just is your movie. It's your fantasy that you have such an entitlement. You have no control. The only place you have control, and you have a lot of control in this place. It's a lot of control, but it's only in this place, is how you interact with the X of life, how you interact to the present moment. How you show up is in your control. Nothing else is in your control. So anything else where you are getting upset with someone else, where they are disappointing you, where they are angering you, is your entitlement that it should be different. We are not entitled to life being different. It just is what it is, what it is. And our inability to accept it is our inability to accept that we have no entitlement, right? The minute we want it to be a certain way is because we think we're entitled to it to be a certain way. No, life doesn't work like that. It is what it is, what it is, what it is. And if we cannot accept it, it's because we think we are entitled. So in your life, anytime you are in the should, well, I think he should. Yesterday I did a lot of shoulding on the president, right? And that America should, and this should, sure. But it doesn't mean that it is, right? It's just an idea. It's just our desire. But it's not going to come true. And truly growing up is taking away your entitlement and stop expecting from others. Stop it. Just like stop it. Because everybody and life works according to its own agenda, according to its own level of consciousness, right? So as much as I don't like what the president of the United States does every time he breathes, that's my entitlement, that I think he should be different. No, he should be exactly as he is. Now, I can do a lot of things in my own jurisdiction. I can write letters. I can spend my time hating him. I cannot look at him. I have lots of choices, but he should be exactly as he should be because he is, according to his level of consciousness. He can only be who he is according to his level of consciousness. I can make sure I never vote for him again. I can make sure I rally for somebody else. I can do lots of things. But to expect him to be different, that's my delusion. How deluded am I? In the same way, to expect your child to be any different than your child is, to expect your partner to be different than your partner is, to expect life to be different than life is our delusion, right? So it is what it is. Our inability to expect it, to accept it, and to expect it to be different than what it is our resistance, is our toddler tantrum, right? And our superior narcissism, our entitlement, that I expect life to make me happy. No, life is going to be what life is. You want to be happy? It's your choice. You always have the choice to be happy, no matter what life gives you. It's your choice. But don't expect life to give you happiness. Don't expect life to give you loveliness. Life is life is life. How you interact with life is your power. So are you going to take your power back? And part of that is shedding entitlement. Part of that is shedding expectations and only having an expectation for your own self, for your own joy, for how you show up. That's where your power lies. So today, look around you. Let go of all the shoulds. Let go of all the entitlements. Let go of all the anger. Because all your anger is coming from wanting things to be other than they are, and your inability to accept that it is the way it is. So let it go. Nobody in your life needs to make you happy. That's not their job. Nobody in your life, including your husband, including your wife, is here to make your bed, so to speak. Nobody in your life is here to give you milk, so to speak. Not even your children. They are here for themselves. Your partners are here for themselves. Everyone at the end of the day is working according to their own agenda. And expecting people to work for you is your delusion. Nobody works for you. You work for you. So put yourself to work in a way that makes you joyful. Don't wait for somebody else to come to make you joyful. Let go of your entitlement that anyone is here to hand you joy on a platter. Life is not here to make you happy, right? No one is here answering your hotline. You're not that special. but you're very, very unique. But don't get the two mixed up. As you shed your desire to be so special, you accept with humility. It is what it is. I have power in my hands. How do I make myself joyful today? How do I make myself feel empowered? How do I make myself in abundance today? And that is where your power truly lies. And that you are entitled to. You are entitled to your power. Give yourself your power, but don't ask others to give it to you. That's not their job. It's only your job to give yourself power. Be entitled to yourself. Be entitled to your own truth. Don't wait for others to give it to you. Okay, guys. If you want to meditate with me, I'm going to meditate on another page in 25 minutes or so. The page is facebook.com/groups/get super powered. facebook.com/groups/get super powered. Come and meditate with me there. And I've opened the doors to my sisterhood community. I have a community just for women, men, where for $25 a month, you can join from anywhere in the world and be part of this really intimate tribe. The reason I kept the price really stable for what we offer is so that there can be no excuse. If you're looking for community, if you're feeling alone, come and join us. If you want to grow, evolve, and be part of a sisterhood, you can go to my website, drshefali.com, go to courses, go to Luminous. It's called Luminous. I hope I see you there, and I hope I at least see you on my meditation page. I would love for you to join me there. Bye, everyone, and I will see you for Viral Wisdom tomorrow. Bye, Facebook.